What's that sound? It's For Amusement Only, the EM and Bingo Pinball Podcast. Welcome back to For Amusement Only. This is Nick Baldridge. I got an email that I had to share because I find it very amusing. Don emails and says, "Hey Nick, really? No Liberty Bell? Why? Was Williams so late to the party for the bicentennial that their game came out in 1977? For shame." Well, you ask, I answer. Tonight I'm going to talk about Williams' 1977 Liberty Bell. Liberty Bell is a two-player EM, which is interesting in its own right because at this time we're almost at the point of the solid-state changeover for Williams, and it's kind of strange that Liberty Bell didn't come in a four-player version. It only came in a two-player. Now, if you were to sit this game beside Grand Prix, which came out the year before, you might notice that the playfield layout is exactly the same. The only difference is in the artwork and in how it scores. But the same basic shots are there. You've got a spinner on the left, a spinner on the right. You got 4 drop targets. You got 2 pop bumpers. And then you've got saucers to give points. But they can also be used to light double bonus, which is pretty handy. More points, usually a good thing. So just like on Grand Prix, you have the ability to advance your bonus by spinning the spinner 10 times. The drop targets are labeled BELL, and like on Grand Prix, if you hit them in pairs, eventually they will light extra ball, which you can collect in the out lanes. Your drop targets can also advance your bonus, which is pretty important. You don't have a left and right side bonus on this game like you do on Grand Prix, and therefore there's a little less strategy in what you're shooting for because you're pretty much trying to drop the drop targets. It seems as though it's all about hitting those drop targets and advancing your bonus as high as possible and lighting double bonus in order to collect when you drain. There's a saucer at the top, but down by the flippers there is no in lane, and there's no broken in lane that allows you to fall out or nudge in. Instead, there's a larger plastic that covers the sling. So, what else for the gameplay? Well, how do you win a special? You can win on score, of course, but in order to win a special, you have to knock down one set of drop targets, or both sets of drop targets, a total of 4 times. This will light your 4th star advance, and at that point you have to hit all 4 drop targets in order to get 1 replay. That's pretty tough. If you've played Grand Prix, then you know how difficult it is to get 4-star advances, much less getting 4-star advances and then continuing to hit the drop targets. Those drop targets that are front and center are pretty much drain guarantees. Because of their angle, it shoots them right to the out lane. Now, another thing on this game is that unless lighting double bonus is lit on the kick-out holes on the left and right, you pretty much want to stay out of them because they only give you 500 points. Really, your big points are lighting the spinners for 1,000 and then hitting all your drop targets. So, let's talk about artwork. This game's artwork was done by Christian Marsh. And in this case, I think the artwork is light years ahead of Grand Prix, on the playfield especially. You have what's obviously a patriotic theme But there are special elements to the artwork that I think make it stand out. The first would be the center plastic, which is the Liberty Bell. And it is a small diamond-shaped plastic that really only covers the posts directly above the drop targets. There are two long plastics that line the left and right hand side, and those are red and white striped with blue stars. And then on the play field itself, you have a Liberty Bell turned upside down. At least I think that's what that is. And if I'm wrong, then I'm going to feel pretty silly. But in the center of this bell that's upturned and cut at an angle, there is an eagle. And I just think it looks pretty cool. Now the cabinet has an actual 13 colonies American flag on the left and right side with the Liberty Bell stenciled on top of that. And the flag is also on the front of the game. The back glass has a flag in the background with the Liberty Bell positioned in the stars area, with 13 stars for the 13 colonies, an eagle above each set of score reels, the Statue of Liberty hiding behind one fold in the flag, and then various vignettes from the United States' history. On the right-hand side, you have a lady dancing, wearing a patriotic outfit. So let's return to Don's comments. He says, "Just kidding, but I owned a Liberty Bell which is very similar to the popular Grand Prix. Once I refurbished it, it was a fun, fast, and brutal game. I do miss it." And he says, "Just poking some fun. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Don." Well, Don, I really appreciate your email, and thanks for pointing out to me just how much I get wrong. If any of you have something to point out to me, feel free to email me. My email is foramusementonlypodcast@gmail.com, or you can call me on the Bingos line. That's 724-BINGOS1, 724-246-4671. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Casts via RSS, on Facebook, on Twitter @Bingo Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram, also @Bingo Podcast. Or you can listen to us on our website, which is foramusementonly.libsyn.com. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.